Welcome to the BioPharma Business Intelligence Unit, where symbolic integrity meets strategic clarity. At BBIU, we go beyond the headlines to decode the structural forces behind global biopharma, AI, and economic realignment. If you value precision, verification, and symbolic depth, this channel is for you. Subscribe now to access our weekly briefings, dossiers, and intelligence reports, and consider joining our institutional tier to unlock early warning systems, custom metrics, and exclusive strategic insight. You're not just listening, you're entering the future of epistemic intelligence. www.biopharmabusinessintelligenceunit.com.
Pharmaceutical tariffs, furniture duties, and heavy trucks. Trump's October 1st extraction pivot. Executive summary. On September 25, 2025, President Donald Trump announced that beginning October 1st, the United States will impose new product-specific tariffs: a 100% duty on branded and patented pharmaceuticals, a 50% tariff on kitchen cabinets and bathroom vanities, a 30% tariff on upholstered furniture, and a 25% tariff on heavy trucks manufactured abroad. The pharmaceutical measure is the most disruptive. It conditions market access on U.S. manufacturing presence, exempting only companies that have already begun construction of domestic facilities. This represents a radical shift from prior trade norms, reframing the U.S. drug market as an extraction through compliance mechanism. BBIU opinion, from pharma to furniture. Trump's extraction architecture and Korea's strategic blindness. Executive extract. On September 25, 2025, President Donald Trump announced a new wave of tariffs effective October 1st. 100% duties on branded and patented pharmaceuticals unless the company is building a U.S. plant, 50% on cabinets, vanities, 30% on upholstered furniture, and 25% on heavy trucks. Mainstream commentary treated these as protectionist excesses. BBIU interprets them differently, as structural instruments of industrial relocation and financial extraction. When situated against the broader U.S.-Asia negotiation arc, Korea's $350 stalemate with the U.S., Lee's silent resistance, the SPC trap, white flag diplomacy, Commerce Secretary's demand, Forex deadlock at the core, and coercive immigration enforcement, Hyundai LG Georgia raid, the pattern is clear. Tariffs are not tariffs. They are enforcement tools of systemic subordination. 1. Pharmaceuticals. The health lever, Trump's truth. Social declarations. Starting October 1st, 2025, we will be imposing a 100% tariff on any branded or patented pharmaceutical product, unless a company is building their pharmaceutical manufacturing plant in America. This is not trade policy. It is industrial coercion by exclusion. Companies cannot reconfigure global supply chains within weeks. The measure functions as a shock device to force U.S. investment announcements to preserve market access. Parallel analysis in pharma's domestic reinforcement wave shows that Eli Lilly's $5 billion Virginia plant, alongside similar investments by GSK, AstraZeneca, and Roche, already constitute a cascade of compliance pledges. The tariff accelerates this alignment. The danger: patient access and public health become bargaining chips in geopolitical extraction. 2. Furniture. The housing lever, 50% on cabinets, vanities, and 30% on upholstered furniture, ties tariffs directly to construction and real estate. Kitchens and bathrooms are the structural nodes of new housing. Symbolically, this is protection of the American home, literally and figuratively. Politically, it resonates with voters far more than semiconductor subsidies. Yet, with construction activity already slowed by labor raids, Georgia case, the transmission of the tariff is muted. Importers discount to survive, pressure shifting upstream to exporting nations. The effect is more symbolic than inflationary, but it tightens the extraction screw on those who have not signed agreements with Washington. 3. Heavy trucks, the logistics lever. A 25% duty on foreign heavy trucks protects U.S. OEMs, Freightliner, Peterbilt, Navistar. Trigger narrative: a Florida truck accident involving a non-English-speaking driver became the emblematic case. Trump linked tariffs and regulatory enforcement to supply chain sovereignty and safety. The administration simultaneously reinforced the federal requirement that commercial drivers must read and speak English. Years of lax enforcement suddenly activated. Companies employing non-compliant drivers face penalties. Layered context: the rollout of Tesla Semi and autonomous truck pilots, Aurora, Kodiak, others. Trump's play secures political capital with truckers today, while preparing the ground for automation tomorrow. The structure is binary: localize or pay, comply or exit, automate or lose. 4. Korea's upfront paradox. Trump explicitly stated that $350 it is upfront. This dismantles Seoul's narrative of a gradual fund or staged investment. With reserves near $400, a $350 upfront demand is effectively an entire foreign exchange buffer extracted in 3.5 years. Korea's internal messaging, phased cooperation, naval funds, is propaganda. Trump's wording is reality. Articles like Stalemate and Deadlock detail how forex risk and structural vulnerability underpin this confrontation. 5. Comparative treatment. Argentina versus Korea. Argentina, under President Javier Milei, received a currency swap arrangement as part of its alignment with the U.S. and Israel. This provided immediate liquidity support and signaled Washington's willingness to reward political alignment. Korea, by contrast, has not secured equivalent financial relief. Despite its much larger trade and investment relationship with the U.S., its hesitancy and attempts to reframe commitments have led to stricter enforcement and fewer concessions. The divergence illustrates the new logic. Alignment up front translates into tangible concessions. Ambiguity or delay translates into extraction under harsher terms. 6. Enforcement by ICE, industrial disruption as discipline. The Hyundai-LG Georgia raid showed that U.S. enforcement can suspend billion-dollar projects overnight. 475 workers detained, many Korean nationals, projects delayed by 2 to 3 months. This proves that investment alone does not guarantee safety. Without visa architecture and contractual protections, foreign capital remains hostage to domestic enforcement. 7. API leverage. The silent weapon API leverage demonstrates how China and India control 75% of global APIs. Trump's pharma tariffs target finished drugs, but the silent battlefield lies upstream. Control of APIs means any reshoring can still be neutralized by supply disruption. The danger, an illusion of security through flashy U.S. plants, while dependency on Chinese and Indian molecules persists. 8. Nationalist propaganda. Structural blindness. Korean media and political narratives, Kupong, present Trump as retreating or scared by Samsung's DRAM pricing. These are fantasies. The reality, Trump is escalating demands, securing upfront pledges, and enforcing compliance across multiple channels. Propaganda blinds citizens and investors to structural risk, encouraging complacency. Historical parallels, Japan 1980s, Korea pre-1997 IMF crisis, show how nationalist boosterism precedes systemic collapse. Final integrity verdict. The October 1st tariffs exemplify Trump's systemic enforcement architecture. Integrity of mainstream reporting is moderate, facts clear, but interpretation shallow. The deeper truth is visible only when aligned with BBIU's cumulative dossier. Tariffs are instruments of industrial relocation, capital expropriation, and symbolic domination.